Hello, Professor Swab. My name is Matthew Cairns, and my family and I just recently moved to the Houston area. We've always lived in Texas, but we just recently moved here. And so for this assignment, I have chosen a sports complex that actually signifies a lot of cultural relevance here in Houston. Here with my family. We drove here this afternoon. But one of the most recent disasters, was Hurricane Harvey that made landfall on August 24th and 25th of last year. And when it did, it interrupted what was a great baseball season here in Houston. And what was so bad about Harvey was when it made landfall, there was a ridge of high pressure up in the northern part of Texas that kept making the hurricane make landfall, weaken, dump rain, bump it back out in the ocean, re-strengthen, come back, make landfall, weaken, dump rain. And it did this 2 or 3 different times, and it just created torrential flooding here in Houston. Some of the worst flooding ever seen, actually. So the place where I'm at is Minute Maid Park, which is the home of the Houston Astros, the Major League Baseball team for Houston. The stadium itself had terrible flooding damage. So it interrupted their season, like I said, and they had to cancel a few games and postpone a few games. They had a series with the New York Mets scheduled for the exact time that Hurricane Harvey was taking place. Or actually, I'm sorry, a series with the Rangers at Minute Maid Park that they actually played in Dallas, and then the next series was with the Mets that they postponed. And so the cultural relevance of all of this is that during a disaster, people tend to focus just strictly on the disaster itself and the sheer ferocity of it and the damage that it's done. And then the only ending signal that they get is whenever their, per se, major sports start back up. So as we get out, I'm going to show you exactly what Minute Maid looks like in the background here. So this right here is Minute Maid, and now we have posters of the team. As you well know, the Astros won the World Series last year after actually the devastating Hurricane Harvey. And now those posters have a slogan on the bottom that says "Never Settle," and that's exactly what that signifies. Is even though we came through one of the worst natural disasters Houston has ever seen, probably, we came out on top, and the World Series rings is signifying all of that. And not to say that major league sports are everything, but whenever we're in the terrifying and the horrific nastiness of a natural disaster, it's always great to start going back to normalcy whenever we can say, oh look, our Astros are playing again in Minute Maid Stadium, or oh look, right down the road the Texans are playing again, or whatever it is, the New York Giants, or whoever you have. It's always good to get that sense of normality back whenever you have your home team or your state's home team or or whatever it is, that right there signifies normalcy, in my opinion.